Thank you, Paul. Madam Mayor, Council President, Senator Pugh, and all of you that are here. I don't know when when both the mayor and the commissioner sort of call on you as the person who nudges and pushes and is a polite way of saying a pain in the anatomy, from time to time. I don't know how to take that introduction. I guess it's to say, be careful, Joe. But the Central Baltimore Partnership is a federation of organizations, and so I don't represent my pushing and prodding. I represent the agenda that everyone in this neighborhood and in the surrounding neighborhoods have set for ourselves together. We've said we've all worked too long alone, not knowing that others had the same dreams and were willing to embrace the same effort. And the Central Baltimore Partnership, which is only 4 years old, is nothing more than its partners. And it's deeply committed to each of the partners succeeding and bringing partners together. And it represents a realization that we really are all in the same boat together. And wind or no wind, we're sailing and bailing because there's a lot of work to do. And I get to once in a while be the coxswain who calls, stroke, stroke, stroke. But it's really the effort of the individual organizations. And at the groundbreaking here last year, our chair, Fred Lazarus, the president of MICA, spoke. The federation includes the 3 universities, MICA, UB, and Johns Hopkins, the Baltimore Museum of Art, neighborhood groups in Greenmount West, Barclay, Old Goucher, Remington, Charles Village, Harwood. We're really all pushing together, property owners, private developers, and this is what it takes. But most of all, it takes people in the neighborhood. So I especially want to congratulate the long-term residents and fighters in the neighborhood, the real warriors who saved the corners and saved the houses and didn't give up, and represented in some ways by BMOG as the official planning organization for the neighborhood, but represented in many ways by everyone here, that people in tough times had hope, but they also took action. Hope is not, in the least the way I heard it preached, is not sitting on your hands and waiting for the next day. Hope is an active virtue. Hope is a belief that gets you out and gets going, and that's what we've seen in Barclay. And I'm here to say that Barclay's not alone, but all the institutions and all the neighborhoods join together in this important Central Baltimore corridor. And it will not happen, cannot happen, if it's not based in the neighbors, the residents of the community. And that's what is demonstrated here so much in the activity and so much in the plan that has happened. It is tough to do things anew, but it's even tougher to get up when you've been knocked down and you have to reconfigure. And there's several people here that get credit along with the residents for starting over. First of all, there's the city's willingness to take some not so successful affordable housing projects back from the federal government and say, we'll do it over again somehow. We're not sure how, but we'll figure it out in a new way and we'll start over. Telesis gets a lot of credit, and I want to say something that's not obvious. When Telesis got picked, we thought there was a way to finance the development here. It turned out to not work. And Telesis, unlike many developers in the city, was not given a big grant by the city or the federal government to plan this neighborhood. They had to out of pocket do this whole first stage of working with us to create a plan. And we don't say that often. And I think that, but I've said to Marilyn more than once that if I were Telesis, I would have thought I got sucker punched when I got picked for this job. So Paul said I'm the honest guy in the crowd. This has been a really tough sledding, and Telesis got up and put their own resources in to get us to this stage. And we can't say how many times the gardeners and People's Homesteading picked themselves up from what looked like was going to be easy and turned out to be harder and made it happen. And without that effort and what's happening on 22nd Street, we wouldn't be here doing this. And what's here now is a very incredible and ambitious plan. This is a bold and very delicate plan of balancing new uses, new populations with old populations to expand what has always been a caring and diverse community. and to make sure Barclay is once again, as many people remember it, and all of us aspire, that it is a place of homeowners and renters, of affordable housing and market rate housing, of people of all backgrounds working together and making sure we can, in very deliberate ways, continue this plan. This is only phase one we're celebrating today. This rental housing here and the homeownership on Calvert that we've talked about, we've still got to get phase two and phase three. So we celebrate today, we go back to work tomorrow, but this reminds us that we are succeeding, the momentum is happening, and we've got to stay the course, stick with this plan, and as Connie said in her prayer, and as Sandy just said in her recollection of her devotion this morning, we've all got to keep doing it together. And as the mayor said, when we disagree, doesn't mean we aren't going to keep doing it together. You know, we don't always agree on everything, but we got this main framework, and we're going to stick with it, and we're going to bring everybody constantly to bear in making this happen until Barclay is, and Greenmount West, and Old Goucher, and Remington, all the neighborhoods that we remember and we aspire to be. So I'm just proud to be here as your representative, representing all of the partners that are around here, and I thank everyone for coming out today, and I especially thank the residents and neighbors of Barclay for setting the model for all of us to get up again and get out here and do it. Thank you.
Thank you.